John the Truth Killings is one of the worst wrestlers I have ever seen in my entire life. He is an absolute joke, and for some reason, he is being pushed straight to the top, at least for one pay-per-view, by the WWE. I thought we were past all this nonsense since Triple H slash The Rock slash TKO were in charge and not good old Vinnie Mac. I thought that the ridiculousness was going to end, but it doesn't seem like we're quite there yet. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first episode of Wrestling for Justice. I'm your host, the Supreme Court Justice, the whole podcasting show, Jared Justice. You may have seen me before on Squared Circle Radio, alongside my brother from another mother, Chris Belcher, getting a little tongue-tied there, and also the young buck, Andy York. So, today, basically what I'm going to do, what I intend for this to be going forward, is a kind of mini podcast type deal. Probably won't go much over 10, 15 minutes, if that, and just kind of give some of my opinions, my thoughts, my concerns on the sport of professional wrestling. There's times whenever that I'm not able to be on the show, Squared Circle Radio, with Chris and with Andy, because of life. Things happen, there's work, there's family, there's all that good stuff, and sometimes I just can't be on there. So a lot of times what ends up happening is whenever I finally am on after missing several shows in a row, Chris asks for my opinions on things that him and Andy have already covered, and in a way it's not really as relevant as it would be if we kind of just went over that like as close as possible to when these things actually go down on TV, on television. So, a few things I wanted to address. Like you heard me say there at the beginning, it seems like they're pushing R-Truth towards a main event match with John Cena. I have no clue why they're doing this. It just absolutely boggles my mind. R-Truth, Hornswoggle, Eugene, The New Day, The Miz, Matt Cardona, Brian Myers. These are all people that, like, just their mere existence in the world of wrestling irritates the heck out of me. Like, they have, like, go-away heat. Like, when they come on, I want to change the channel. I don't care about anything they have to say, anything that they're going to do, any storyline that usually they're involved with. So I'm really not sure why we are taking R-Truth and putting him in the main event and using up one of John Cena's dates, especially one of his wrestling dates, using that on R-Truth and whatever storyline this is. Moving right along, kind of going to try to go chronologically in order here. Right after WrestleMania, we had a fantastic Raw. Historically, the Raw after WrestleMania is as big as some of the pay-per-views throughout the year. One thing I wanted to hit on that I've noticed, and I haven't heard anybody else really say this, is how good of a heel that John Cena is. In particular, you heard the crowd chanting, and then you heard Cena address the crowd and address the television audience. And to me, whenever I was listening, I heard the crowd chanting, "We are sorry," over and over and over. When Cena addressed the situation, he said, "Unless you can't hear at home, the crowd is chanting, 'We aren't sorry,' as in we are not sorry." I don't think that was accurate. I think that John Cena is just brilliant enough of an actor, of a wrestler, a sports entertainer, that he took that negative, flipped it to a positive as far as his storyline is going. Okay? So I think that was probably just spot on, right on the moment, called it on the fly, and I think that was absolutely excellent that he did that. Next we have John Cena versus Randy Orton. These guys have been in the ring multiple times throughout the years. Again, it was to the point that I never wanted to see them in the ring together ever again. They were both capable of doing a lot more whenever they were younger, as most wrestlers are, as most people are. We're at a different time now. Both gentlemen are over 40 years old. I'm 40. I have aches and pains usually on a daily basis. So I can only imagine what these guys are going through whenever every bump they take, basically, according to science and reports that I've heard, is equivalent to a fender bender car wreck. So just to kind of break that down, every time a wrestler falls down, hits the mat, it kind of sends that kind of shock through their body that you would get if you were in a fender bender, which is, I mean, absolutely crazy to think about. I mean, how do these guys take this? They say their body gets used to it, almost calloused. And it's just crazy that your body can become accustomed to that type of abuse. Next thing I wanted to hit on was during the Cena and Orton match, they tried to go through the announce table, speaking about bumps. Table didn't break. At least it didn't break the way they wanted it to. So Orton goes, he pulls out a table from underneath the ring. It looks like he's trying to find a table. Doesn't know where that the table exactly is located. Just he probably knows that most likely, just in case, there is a table underneath a WWE ring at every event, I would imagine. So they do the spot again. Cena goes to the table, check that box. It was an excellent match all around, man. I mean, especially like they had to do some smoke and mirrors, but I mean, they got through this thing, and at the end, it was positive. I mean, I enjoyed the match. So also something that has been annoying me lately. I'm going to say a word. Kids, put your earmuffs on. It absolutely drives me insane. Of all the things that they let go through on WWE programming, on Netflix, on the pay-per-views, wherever, we've heard Michael Cole say the GD word, which is horrendous. It's awful. It should never be used, especially on a product that they're saying is family-friendly, okay? Then you have Cody Rhodes. Drops a huge F-bomb, not bleeped out. You can go watch it right now. Last time I looked, it's still not bleeped out. But yet, all the time, man, whenever the crowd chants, holy shit, they are bleeping this out to the point that we cannot hear the announcers. Like, the announcers are still trying to talk and explain what we are seeing in the ring. And a lot of times, they are so bad at this that they bleep out the holy, and the shit still comes through. And that's about what you can really hear, is holy shit. And it just absolutely drives me insane. It's something that should be fixed. It's happened a lot lately, and that's just something that really needs correcting. It drives me nuts. I don't think I'm the only one. It is what it is. Let's move on. Sabu, tragically, he has passed from this world. He is no longer with us. I remember I never got to actually watch ECW except during the TNN era. I never got to watch it like live ever, really. Because here in Eastern Kentucky, we didn't have a channel unless you had, I guess, satellite. I never was blessed enough to have satellite. We had basic cable. I think it was 36 channels, and then it grew to like maybe 50 some, and then it grew from there. But anyways, we didn't have a channel that where we could watch ECW. But Sabu is an ECW original, I think, in everybody's book. You think of ECW, you think of the Sandman, you think of Tommy Dreamer, you think of Paul Heyman, Paulie Dangerously. You think of Bill Alfonso. Some people may think of Shane Douglas. But Sabu, man, I mean, you've got, if any list that is made, Sabu has to be on that list, okay? I mean, it's an injustice if he's not on there. And I mean, he had such a style that it was like he's just going out there and throwing his body around like he doesn't care. And I mean, he's doing flips. He's trying to do flips. He's botching stuff. I mean, he's going through tables. The barbed wire match where that against Terry Funk, I believe it was, where he had his bicep ripped open by the barbed wire. And basically, he just like duct tapes it back together and ends up super gluing it together. I mean, the stuff this guy did was absolutely insanity. But at the end of the day, the dude loved wrestling. He put his body on the line for all of us, and man, I mean, that gets a tip of the hat from me, and I hated to hear that news, man. It was not good. Last thing I want to say is it seems that WWE programming, after all the good content that we got pre-WrestleMania, during WrestleMania, even post-WrestleMania up until here just lately. It seems like, man, things were just hitting on all cylinders. It was go, go, go. And it seems like all of a sudden, man, we've kind of hit this like lull. We kind of just, went off the road into a ditch. And it seems like they've got something with Seth. They have something with Braun Breaker, and not Braun Strowman because he's gone. We have something with Paul Heyman. I think they're going to add more people to the group. I do believe they will be adding Becky Lynch. I think that's spectacular. If you remember back, whenever that Becky and Seth were both the good guys, they were faces, baby faces. And the males of the crowd would like boo whenever on screen you had them together, okay? It was because the guys were jealous that Seth was with Becky. I mean, Becky seems like a terrific person, cool girl. I think most guys would probably say that she's easy on the eyes. And I think they could really use that, man, to get a lot of heat on this faction, the new Dangerous Alliance. I mean, that's what I'm calling it until they tell me differently. I do think we'll probably get one more male added to the group. I'm not sure who that is. I really don't know. I hate to speculate because nobody really just comes to mind like that. But I'm definitely interested in seeing where things are going to go with WWE. The product's still great. They're still charging more than ever and selling more than ever and all that stuff that I'm sure they're tickled to death about. Okay. But at the end of the day, right now, just because we've had a couple weeks where things have kind of not been so great, I'm not ready to say that I'm not interested anymore. So, good job, WWE. I just wanted to shout out a few people before I kind of put a nice bow on this episode. My brother from another mother, Chris Belcher, he's the host at Squared Circle Radio, a podcast that me and him created years ago. Of course, he's stuck with it for longer than I have. I've been on the podcast here and there, best that I can. There was a time whenever I just was not interested in the WWE product that Vince was producing, and I was just so sick of the same garbage that I just could not make myself watch it. Definitely couldn't make myself seem excited about it to do a podcast. So I thought it was best that I kind of hit the road for a while. Andy York, the young buck, he does a great job. He's always there, man. I mean, every week you see this guy, and he has a lot. Indie Andy he has a lot of opinions that are different from people my age, maybe people Chris's age, maybe your normal WWE only fan. He knows a lot about the indies, a lot about AEW, and it's just awesome to have him on the show for his opinions. The boys at Hideaway Novelties, the Hideaway boys, Gabe and Sean, they have 2 locations in Pikeville. It's a great little store. Stop by. The guys are great at both locations. They're super easy to talk to, and I highly recommend stopping by, man. So I guess last of all, Big Tom, bringing some Big Tom energy all the time. Sportswire Radio, check him out, man. It's awesome. We owe a lot to Tom. He's always treated me like he's known me, his whole life, and I've never actually met the guy in real life. I hope to someday. Hopefully, we both end up at a Mania or something. We can hang out, grab a slice of pizza there in New York or something like that. It would be great to actually meet him, but I just wanted to say, sir, tip of the hat to you. We sure appreciate your help. Until next time, guys, kind of like Earl Pitts used to say, here in Eastern Kentucky, if you know what I'm saying, I'll end the show the same way. Pitts off. Catch you next time.